Zinaida Mikhailovna Tusnolobova-Marchenko was a military doctor. Having got to the front as a 23-year-old girl, she daily saved lives of soldiers. The fragile young woman carried on her shoulders 123 wounded from the battlefield, but she was honored with the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union for the events of the only one day, which was her last on the front. It could have been the last in her life. The last fight on February 2, 1943. There was a heavy fight for railway station Gorshchnoye. It was in Kursk region. There were severe frosts. At the decisive moment, Zina saw that the commander was wounded, and rushed to his aid. They were the last survivors, but in a few minutes the girl was alone. A German officer surveying the battlefield found the wounded nurse and beat her with his buttstock until she lost consciousness. Thinking that the woman was dead, the fascist left her bloody body and left. Zina spent a day in the freezing cold under a snowstorm. By the evening of the next day, partisans found her. In order to take the wounded woman to the medical unit, they had to cut her with knives from the ice that was formed of snow and blood. Tusnolobova suffered severe frostbite. The doctors fought for her life for more than 2 weeks. It was decided to amputate both of her legs and left arm. Incredible fighting spirit and courage Zina showed back in the hospital. Barely recovering, she addressed an open letter to the workers, and a few days later to the soldiers of the First Baltic Fleet. Zina called for a ruthless and merciless fight against the enemy. The emotional message of the girl, who had been so crippled by the war, made a huge impression on those who read her open letter. The very next day, the slogan for Zina Tusnolobova was placed on the sides of tanks, planes, and combat guns. There is happiness. After the war, Zina married and took a double surname, Tusnolobova-Marchenko. Her husband was a veteran engineer at a plant. The couple had a son and a daughter. Zinaida Mikhailovna never lost heart. In spite of her serious injuries, she was able to inspire the soldiers and toilers of the home front. And in the post-war years she became a loving wife and a caring mother. Now there is a memorial museum in Polotsk, Zina's native town, in the apartment where the Tusnolobova-Marchenko family lived.